Good and fine evening, my friends. Welcome back to the tavern. It shouldn't be running ads. You getting ads, Kimian? They should be off for a minute at least. Good lord. But hello, my friends, and welcome, welcome, welcome. Good to see you all. Kai, hello, good to see you. I'm glad that you made it in. Don't worry, I know it says Oonagh, I'm not going to be here forever. HBO and Guy, that's so odd. Drew, hello and welcome in. Guten Abend, mein Freunden. Hello. Tyson, welcome, welcome, friends. Matty, thank you for the resub, brother. 11 whole months. It's been quite a while. Practically living in the tavern now, he is. And again, don't worry, the lady will be here presently. She's making herself up. I'm just gonna waffle with you guys for a little bit before she gets on. And she will be reading Child of the Prophecy by Juliette Marie. What chapter are we on, my love?
Probably 3, because they're so freaking long.
Chapter 3 of Child of the Prophecy is where we're going to be. Living, I feel like that's an understatement. Well, I'll also give you guys a little bit of a pre-announcement, I guess. I have the topic for this month's writing contest. So for anyone who doesn't know, Bear, hello, welcome in, brother. For anyone who doesn't know, we are doing a monthly writing contest for the tavern. And why is this camera? Wait, is it this one? No, it is this one. Why is this one so low? So odd. Yeah, it's still so tilted. Oh, because it fell forward, that's why. Okay, well, that's better. There we go. Maria, hello, hello. I finally caught you live. Hello from New Zealand. And yes, I celebrated Belted, not South. Well, hello. Very good. Welcome in. My sub streak is broken. I didn't get to resubbing last month. That's all right, Bethy. It is unfortunate when you lose a streak in something, but I'm glad that you love us enough that you throw that little bit of Bezos money our way. We're always appreciative of it. But Maria, welcome in. I'm very glad that you were able to join us. I hope you had a wonderful festival. For Samhain, we actually celebrate all the way up to November the 2nd, so we celebrate till today. We start on October the 25th and we go all the way up to the 2nd. And that is because our family celebrates based off of a more broad Celtic calendar rather than the strictness of the Gregorian calendar. That's all right, Matty. There'll be plenty more opportunities. But anyways, so we are doing a writing contest for tavern patrons. And at the end of next year, we will publish all of the winning stories in a Tavern Tales book, where everyone will get an author credit for all of the authors who make it in, and then they will also get a cover image for their story, printed inside of the book. And we haven't decided whether or not we're going to show those beforehand or whether there'll be a surprise for when the book comes out. But we'll see what happens. Kelsey, hello, hello. Welcome in. If that's the Kelsey I'm thinking it is, hello and welcome. Good to see you. I was about to say the camera is tilted down because the lady... That's true. That's true. But Maria, I'm glad that you could come in. I hope you'll enjoy story time. I've done the same. Started on the 30th until yesterday. Excellent. That's right, because you're a half day ahead of us. You're 12 hours ahead of us. So because the lady and I are in the US, so you're 12 hours ahead of us. Ish. Tony, hello, hello. Kelsey, hello. Welcome in. I'm glad to see you both. grab your seats and settle in. So I'm very excited about this month's topic for the writing contest. That's what I was thinking, Ben. I was thinking it would be more fun if once we've got the whole book organized and put together, and then we put it all out, that would be the more fun way of doing it. Maria, thank you kindly for the stars over on Facebook. Enjoy your pumpkin cider there. That's funny. My brother's name is well, your brother. Maybe it is your brother. Who knows? Troy, thank you for the follow over on TikTok. You've marked the tavern on your map. Come on in from the cold. You should be able to find your way back to us the very next time that you seek a story, my friend. Whoop, that was not what I wanted to do. All right. No, he's not a social media fan. If only we could. If only, right? If it weren't how the portals to the tavern open, I probably wouldn't be on social media either. And which froze just as you started reading my comment. We're having. Yeah, we're good. Well, my bitrate is good over here, so. Welcome to the future, right? But thank you for the stars. Tip to the tavern keeper, always appreciated, Maria. Thank you kindly. I appreciate you. Your generosity is deeply appreciated. You said that the camera was tilted down. I'll tilt it down again when the lady gets on, Bethany. No, you were fine. You were fine, Matty. Don't worry about it. So, as a reminder, the 14th of this month is the deadline for last month's writing prompt for the Tavern Tales writing competition. We're on everything, Kelsey, as far as I know. Is there anything that we're not on, my love? No, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on YouTube, we're on TikTok. Well, I have an account on Blue Sky, I just don't post anything there. But yeah, we're pretty much across the board. Martin, hello, welcome in. Robert Welke says, can you give the difference between Celtic and Norse heritage? Well, it depends on what you mean, because technically they're both Germanic. And it depends on how broad or how narrow you want to be with things. Obviously, the Norse heritage is Scandinavian, and Celtic heritage is really anything in sort of like Western, Northern Europe. But Celtic is also a very vague term. It means a lot of the Gauls and the Malaysians in Spain and France are Celts, and then the Firbolg and the later Malaysians as well, and the Scots and the Irish, those were all Celts as well. And then you have the Welsh, who are also considered to be Celts, and you have the Cornish, who are also considered to be Celts. So Celtic is more of a sort of a broad, more Romanic term than it is anything specific. But, huh? Yeah, the Picts would later become the Scots. So, the Scots and the Welsh. There's no real clean way to determine who was who, because there's a lot of mixing that goes on. History isn't really all that clean. Castle, I have some good news. I will be having a job interview with a company I applied for in the coming days. Congratulations, Con. That's wonderful. Best of luck to you. I'll keep my fingers crossed. Legend of Becca, I presume that you're coming in from another platform, but welcome in. So very glad you could join us. Grab a seat, pull up a chair, come in from the cold. You've now marked this on your map, and you should be able to find your way back again. That's why the Isle of Man has a Sicilian flag. Yeah, there's no real clean cut delineations in those, but both Celtic and Norse have Germanic roots, which is why Odin, as you would put it in Anglican, has roots in Woden, which is the old Germanic term. And a lot of people go, well, Woden and Odin, they're the same person. They're not. I was on TikTok, had to stop as I became like Alice and went down the rabbit hole too many times. That will happen. Bears, hello. I already read your comment. Joker, hello. Welcome in. Good to see you. But yeah, it's very easy to fall down the rabbit holes. I try to make all of the stories that come out of the tavern at least a little bit intellectually stimulating, so that if you get caught in a tavern rabbit hole, it's for better than it is for worse. And no drama. We keep drama at the door for the tavern. Also, I'm nearly completely done putting together the Demigod Story Bible. Well, the main character, bless you, my darling. Main characters and base idea are all over. Of the overall ideas, though, I might need help organizing it a bit. Though I need feedback on it. That's one of the dregs of writing is how many iterations you have to go through. How you doing, Joker? I see you in comments all the time. I don't think I've seen you in live in a while, though. Herring, hello, hello. Oonagh does look different tonight. She's grown out a fine beard and buzzed a little bit, and her head has grown. Her head grew 3 sizes that day, as they say. Esther, hello and welcome in. Good to see you, love. I am faring well. The lady and I are having a wonderful week. We've been doing a lot of work, and for us, that's always a good time. We enjoy what we do. So, getting to run the tavern is a blessing and a half. Cover 86, hello and welcome into the tavern. Grab a seat, settle in. There were questions. I'm doing good, just relaxing. Wonderful. Well, the tavern's a great place to relax, my friend. How you doing, Cover? Are you coming in from another portal, or are you just coming in from the feed? Either way, fine. Welcome in. Grab a seat and fill a glass. Made it in, thankfully. Yes, you did, Frost. Hello. Welcome, welcome. Thor, Thodor, Tyr, Tywis. Yeah. There's Frost, thank you for the resub. 10 months in a row. You are a bleeding legend. Thank you for that, my friend. Tips to the tavern keeper always appreciated. I love your feedback too, Castle, since I'm still reorganizing. I will get there as quick. Ooh, we still have the Wraith's Whisperings up. That's interesting. So you go live on Facebook, so I jumped over. It is a little bit smoother over on Twitch. We do have to run ads on Twitch because Twitch forces us to. But the feed is always a little bit smoother on Twitch, to be sure. Huh? Yeah, unless it wants to be a joke, in which case then it, it is what it is. And now I see you on Facebook too from TikTok. Oh, Kelsey, hello. Kova, who are you over on Facebook? Or do I know you on Facebook, I should say? It is what it is. Well, I had a pretty good Halloween this year. What did you do for Halloween, Joker? Hooper. Hooper first name, Hooper last name. What, how, well, first of all, I should ask, do we talk? Last name. Okay, I think I might know who you are. We have. Okay, then yeah, I vaguely. Belton Honeycakes, yes. Okay, yes, I do know who you are. Okay, wonderful. Yes, I do know who you are. You'll have to forgive me. I'm very bad with names. I try to remember conversations and faces, because I'm very bad with names. But I remember almost every conversation I have, and I try to remember everyone that I talk to, and we get thousands of comments a day. So I try to remember everybody, but I don't always immediately. But if you give me the context of things we've talked about, I'll almost certainly remember. But yes, did you make your Belton honeycakes, or are they? I saw that, Esther. Yeah, you had commented on something. Thank you kindly for that. Not much, just hung out outside, passed out some candy, and put on a mask and had a black trench coat on. Sounds like a hell of a Halloween, Joker. But for context in my demigod story about each bio is a story. Oh, interesting. Ooh, with almond flake. Almond flake's a nice addition of texture there. That's a wonderful addition. We had a couple of questions. Did I answer all of them? Mary Beth, hello, welcome in. I'm sorry I missed you. Did I get everyone's questions? Because there was a few questions that came in. Time for some Irish single malt. Yeah, there you go. Will you two calm down? Good lord.
What are you doing?
It's a great question. Relax. Oh, I was talking about somebody asked a question. I got off on a tangent. This month, we have. I just followed you on Facebook, but you know me from. Yeah, I know you, Stephen. Stephen or Con. You did Twitter D&D with the lady and I. Well, and regular D&D as well. You've been with us for a while. I do my best to remember all of you. Yeah, and again, it is difficult because we get thousands of people that come to the tavern every day. But the more you guys comment, the more I remember you. So it makes it easier for me to remember who you are, and which I love to do. I love to remember everyone who comes in and enjoys the stories. It's a joy for me. Black Knight, hello, my friend. Welcome in. Yes. Oh, did you? Oh, you did. Thank you, Con. I appreciate you. Yeah, so Cargos the Blood Spitter is more commonly referred to in the community as Corn. That's because that was the character he played in a D&D game. 2 years ago? 3 years ago now? And his name is Stephen, and he's been a part of the tavern communities almost since the beginning. He's been here a while. Erin, hello, good to see you. I hope you're feeling all right. Why my back still hurts. Make sure you're resting and doing what you ought. Yeah, definitely, that is for the best. I've been well, Black Knight. The lady and I have been making dozens and dozens of stories, so we've been busy, but we're enjoying ourselves nevertheless. Yes, indeed. By the end of the campaign that Khan was in, he was just a talking skull. He loved to get himself into trouble. Okay, so.
Skulls and turned into a skull.
Huh?
He collected skulls and turned into
Yeah, skulls for the skull god, blood for the blood. What is it? Skulls for the skull throne, blood for the blood god. It's Warhammer 40k. Bunny, hello! Thank you for the heart, me. I appreciate you for that. Thank you kindly. I did get your story, Teresa. I'm actually going through submissions this week. For everyone who's already sent them in, I'll be going through submissions, letting anybody know if they need to revise or change anything. Are you familiar with the worst witch? I know a few people I could refer to as that, but do you know what the worst witch is? Is that a book, Bears, or is it a show, something like that? I'm not. To answer your question, I'm not familiar with it off the top of my head. No, I feel like I've seen the name before, but I don't know it off the top of my head. It's a series of novels. I'm not familiar with it. I might have seen it somewhere on TikTok, perhaps, but I'm not familiar with it. No. Ashley, hello. Good to see you. Welcome in. Another barkeeper's joined us. By the way, folks, if you ever need anything, the folks with special icons next to their names, those are barkeeps. Erin is wild. Cover that'll happen. Erin is constantly getting herself into trouble. So last month's writing prompt was you come upon a door. So the theme for this tavern is, again, let me give the context. Dragon of the West, hello, my friends. I'm sorry I haven't finished my story because of personal problems. It's all right, Dragon. There's very little that you can do if you have things that come up. And we'll be having a new writing prompt every month until the end of the year. So there'll be plenty of opportunities to get your stories into the competition and try and get them into the Tavern Tales book. Put it off. You shouldn't be getting any ads at all. Came in. Oh, pre-rolls are on. Why? There shouldn't be any pre-rolls at all. Well, we'll wait until the lady's gonna get on, and then we'll roll some things so that she's not. Whenever we do resume a D&D campaign, my next character will be a Dragonrot kobold that has a cheese-selling company, uses necromancy for its works, and it is ethically sourced, as well as the family members of the works receive the workers' paychecks, as well as both live and... That's a very in-depth and interesting story, Stephen. All right. So the Tavern Writing Contest project is we are going to be having a writing prompt every month for the rest of this year and next year. And then at the end of the year, we will put together a collection and publish it as Tavern Tales, with an additional story written by the lady and I. And every person who is a part of everyone who wins will get a signed copy of the book sent to them. There will be a custom illustration done either by the lady or one of the tavern artists for each of the stories, as a cover story, as a cover for the story. And then the book will be put up for sale for everybody who wants to pick it up, and any money that is made from the sale of the book will go into the next Tavern Tales competition. Last month's prompt was to come upon a door, freestanding door in the middle of nowhere, and the door looked a certain way, and the theme overall of the entire book, the entire collection, is other worlds. So the story has to take place on a world other than our own. That is the most important aspect of it. So now I'm going to give you guys a sneak preview of this month's writing prompt for the competition. And I'm actually very excited about this one. This one is very neat to me, because again, the overall theme of the book is other worlds. Wait, isn't that the plot of Fairy Tale by Stephen King? I wouldn't know, Black Knight. I don't read Stephen King books. So if it is, it's purely by accident. As a question, is physical immortality for an individual desirable? A lot of modern authors and philosophers argue against it, but isn't it just continued living? Just want to ask. I suppose it depends. Some people, I think, could make great use of immortality, but I think most folk would be driven crazy by it. Maybe I could do a short story sometime, Castle? Absolutely, Esther. Everyone is welcome to enter the tavern writing competitions. Kevin, thank you for the resub. Enjoy your Wraith Wisp meringues there. 8 months in a row, what a legend. Are we going to announce the winners every month, Lovey? Timothy and Joker, thank you for the heart, me, my friends. Timothy the Tavern Keeper, always appreciated. So yeah, we will be announcing the winners every 6 weeks. So 6 weeks after the competition, at the end of the 6th week, we will announce who has won the previous month. Because the competition length for each one is 6 weeks. So you have 6 weeks from the day that the prompt is released to complete a story. It has to be original. It has to be written fresh for the competition, and it can't have AI or any of those other things going on. Now it wants to run ads. If it's running pre-rolls, why is it also running ads? Bastards! I swear to God. Twitch makes me so angry. Thank you, Baird. I appreciate you. Everyone's comments are posting. I'm only seeing them once, but that is possible, Kimmy, and that happens occasionally. Can I participate in this month's competition? Of course, Dragon. Everyone is welcome to participate. Bunny, thank you for the level ship. Thank you kindly. Tips to the tavern keeper always appreciated. If you can believe it, I'm still fighting Apple and TikTok to resubscribe to the channel. I can believe it. Actually, I can believe it. If I had to live forever, the limitations of my human brain would lose it. Yeah, and I think some people could very much make good use of immortality. I think most human beings would be put out by it. I don't think that they would be able to handle it. Twitch is a censored word rhyming with which. Testing. I'm seeing you, Kevins. I think so. Yeah, we will be announcing the winners every 6 weeks. So the competitions last 6 weeks, and we'll be announcing the winners of each month at the end of the 6-week time period. So all the rules will be over in the guild. So you can either join Guilded or Discord, and the rules will be posted tomorrow along with the full prompt over in the guild or the Discord. So Guilded is going away. That's our preferred platform, but it's going away. It's being shut down. So the guild is now being moved over to Discord, unfortunately. Probably a matter of perspective. Immortality would fundamentally shift your worldview over time. I believe so. And again, I think that some people would make very good use of it. I think that's probably the minority of people. But I think most folk would probably go crazy or find themselves wrought with despair when faced with eternity, because essentially it is eternity alone, and the older you get, the harder it would be, I think. So I just rebelled against them and subscribed to your page. Oh, thank you, love. I appreciate you for that. The support is deeply appreciated. Thank you so much. The lady and I cannot express enough how much those of you who choose to support us, even just showing up is a great amount of support. I don't want anybody to feel like they have to support anything we do financially. But for those of you who choose to, it does mean the world to us. That what we do is that valuable to you. It means a lot. So let me get you guys the prompt for this month. So again, the theme of the book, the overall theme of the book is other worlds. So every one of these stories is taking place on another world. For this month's story, your character is either a librarian, a keeper, or a curator in a very special place. A library, an archive, a museum that doesn't just hold books, it holds worlds. These worlds are contained perhaps in orbs, terrariums, intricate models, or on maps that are dangerously real. The story must be about a single catastrophic error that your character makes through an accident, neglect, or a desperate choice that has damaged, corrupt, or accidentally merged two of the worlds in their care. And the story must be about the immediate, chaotic, and personal fallout of their mistake. Scallywags, I'm telling you, hooligans, hooliganizing us all over the place. But yeah, so that is it. The story is from the perspective of a... Oh, there's chat going on. The new prompt will be posted tomorrow for us, that's correct. Khan, just showing up and commenting on things and being enthusiastic for the stories the lady and I makes is a great help. You guys don't, like, and I say this just in general about if you have creators that you enjoy, showing up and being enthusiastic with their content is a not only a great boost to the esteem of creators. The lady and I would create even if there was only a couple of you, because it's what we love to do. But for creators in general, showing up and being positive and helping to further the conversation is a great boon to creators. And when you guys love the stories that we make, and you tell me more stories that you want to hear, and you give me feedback, and you talk about loving your time here in the tavern, that means the world to the lady and I. That is one of the sole driving forces for us. Pistol, hello. The mice will be furious. And we love you and the lady. Oh, we love you guys too. Who wants to live forever? I don't know. I think I could do all right forever. I would have to have the lady with me, but I could do forever. Just curious, is the name Ila Makarnunos Nick for Triu an okay name for a Pictish demigod? I'm still workshopping her name. Karnunos is a yeah, that would be. I think that'd probably be all right, Matty. The stories that we are doing are between what is it? What was it? Between 2 and 10,000 words, right, Lovey? The for this month, it's going to be 3 to 7,000. I think is what we're planning to do.
Yeah, they probably need more.
All right, I didn't realize that I had unscrolled the chat. Also, my new profile picture I commissioned from one of my friends is one of the Necron overlords. That's excellent, Stephen. Hang on. Let me get back over here. We're gonna snooze that real quick. So, story about a worker in an interdimensional archive or store of sorts. They make a mistake and threaten worlds or rules and how to fix it. Have I got it? So, here, I'll go back over it one more time just so everybody gets it. The prompt is your character is a keeper. You may call them a librarian, a curator, an archivist, or a guardian. And the title is, whatever the title you pick, that's yours. And they are a tender of a collection, but their collection is not books or forgotten relics, it is a collection of worlds. Perhaps they are contained in glowing orbs, intricate metal models, living maps, bottled ecosystems, however you want to do it, but the archive is a place of immense and quiet power. The story must begin in the moments just after a catastrophic mistake, whether by a simple or clumsy accident, a moment of profound neglect, or a desperate choice your character has just damaged, corrupted, or accidentally merged 2 worlds or more of the worlds under their protection. We want the story of the immediate fallout, what crawls out of a fractured globe, what happens when the world of eternal summer spills into the silent kingdom, what must the keeper do to contain the chaos that they have created. Yeah, I'm with you there. When people say, "Dear God," I usually assume people are talking about Carnunus. There are others, but that's usually who I assume they're talking about. Rokio, you said, "Oh wow, hello everyone. I didn't know you did streams. This only appeared on my feed now. Greetings from Mexico. Here's Dave the Dead, still November 2nd. And I've been learning a lot about Ireland and its culture and mythology for a year now. Well, welcome in. Do you prefer Marianne or I don't know if I'm saying your first name correctly. Is it Rokio? Rokio? Either way, hello and welcome in. Yes, we do live story time where I read, where the lady of the tavern and I read books to you all, and it is we do it 3 times a week. Along with all of the other stories that we put out. And I hope that you're getting some fun cultural stories and mythological stories from us from Ireland. Obviously, we do stories from all over the world, but it's no secret that everyone's favourites are the Irish and Scandinavian ones. Warrior Druidess, hello, welcome in. I'm sorry, I'm just catching up with chat, but welcome in from Colorado. So very glad that you could join us. Thank you, Erin, for the stretch. I appreciate you. Ugh. All right, Con, rest well, my friend. We'll see you again. Can the character for the prompt be a god as long as they're... Yes. However that ends up being, you have complete freedom to do that however you like. They just have to be the archivist or keeper of this particular thing. When people say "Dear God," I get that song stuck in my. I think that the physical immortality one has To transcend the limit of human perception of time, the ever-present now, feel the world's wonder and a companion. Plus, there are spirits and other beings. Yes. Nothing, let the chaos run. I have a lot of songs in my head. Just a thought. Adds in again. Yeah, they just keep popping up. Moria Torres, thank you for the follow. I'm so very glad that you decided to join us. You've marked the tavern on your map, so you should be able to find your way back the very next time that you seek a story. Excellent, Esther. Very good. No. You're good, Dragon. That's what waffles are for. The lady has been encouraging me to get on for waffles on Sundays more often so we can just have these conversations. Because these conversations usually happen during story time and then we don't get to finish the stories. Let's see. Bonnie, you said could be played rather well for a story of champions created for balance. Yeah, that's true. All right, I'm gonna run ads quickly over on Twitch so it stops bugging me to do it. And then the lady will get on here in just a moment and read to you all.
Maybe you should eat your food in your bowl.
How's Kodo, Boo, and Milo? They're good. Did he get hair stuck in his mouth?
Yeah.
Because he's a doofus?
You're gross. Just eat your food in your bowl.
Bunny, is that level ship one of the big gifts on TikTok? Thank you for that. I appreciate you. I just realized that the little graph down there filled up very much. So thank you again for that. It's very kind of you. Thank you for the generosity. Bears, thank you for the roses, my friend. I appreciate you very much. Thank you kindly. You heading out, Black Knight? That's all right. You have a wonderful rest of your evening. Rest well, and may you rise tomorrow ready to face the day. We'll see you back for another story time, my friend. Bears, thank you for the roses, and thank you for the heartbeat, my friend. Tips to the tavern keeper, always appreciated. Thank you very much. Don't feel behind, Matty. You get it done in the time you need to get it done. Don't worry about it. And yet they still happen during so well, yeah, I mean it's a part of the tavern culture, right? We waffle about things. You're never gonna get through a story time. Oh, just falling asleep, not leaving. Alright, well, rest well then. That's even more important. Rest well, and may you rise tomorrow ready to face the day. So I would probably get a little eye, and I'm looking forward to hopefully getting rid of some of this pain. Yeah, absolutely. Santana, hello, welcome in, brother. Good to see you. Yeah, you can't let anything make you feel like you're behind, because being behind implies that there is a deadline. When you work for yourself, the only deadlines that exist are the ones that you give yourself. Now, that doesn't mean that you should allow yourself to be lazy. As a matter of fact, it means that you should do even more. But it also means that you don't have to crush yourself under the weight of expectations. Because if you let the expectations crush you, then there's no real point in doing the things. Not many people are exploring the wonders of YouTube, Castle. No, we haven't put a whole lot of emphasis on YouTube as of late. We put a lot of emphasis into growing not even growing, just establishing a rapport with folks in the live story times and over on the Facebook portals. That's great. I love hearing stories. I follow Mr. Anthony Murphy from Mythical Ireland, and he also does live streams on Mondays. I'll definitely be joining yours as well. And Marianne is okay. It's common in Mexico having 2 first names and 2 last names. The other one is pronounced Rocio. Okay, Rocio. Being seethed Rocio. Oh, okay. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I suppose it does make sense. I should have guessed that. Rossio. Excellent. Where can I find the older videos about King Arthur and the Finnish myths and others? A lot of them are being re-put out over the next couple of months, Dragon. If they exist, then they will still be in their given playlists. Darth Nexus, hello and welcome in. Is the opposite of behind beheart? That's a wonderful question, Bears. I have no idea. Darth Nexus, thank you for the heart me and the gold populars. I appreciate you for that. Thank you kindly. Pistol, I'm sorry you're having a rough week. Hopefully the little bit of waffle and a little bit of story time will help to smooth out the rough edges. Alright, who's ready for story time? Are we ready to bring the lady over and get story time going? Had to come to get my butterbeer? Absolutely. You can only get it 3 days a week, so you gotta come in and get it. And Marianne, I appreciate you. I hope you'll enjoy story times. On Sundays, we do this where I answer questions. We talk about just anything that you all want to talk about. And then the Lady of the Tavern will be here presently to read The Child of the Prophecy. And then on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I read to you all. And of course, waffles end up happening as well. Is that Michael Lacoste? Am I saying that correctly? Hello, welcome in. Castle, I have to compliment and commend you on all the new video content. It's all been a blessing to learn from. Well, I'm glad that you like it, Frost. It is, and I appreciate the compliment. Thank you kindly. You're puffing up my ego, and it's going to get so big I won't fit through the door. That said, I'm literally near the bottom, connecting the Wicked One stuff to Barry's personal family story. Wonderful, that's good to know. Oh, your kids are sick, Santana. Well, that does happen. Castle has a case of the waffles. Always. I always have a case of the waffles, Kayla. But hello and welcome in. It's good to see you. The lady will be on presently. As you can see, I am not Oonagh. I'm just waffling before she gets on a little bit. My back is tingling right now. That's not a good thing. Elsie and I are always ready for storytelling. I'll be back and forth. I'm a bit busy today, being a Monday. That's quite all right. Waffles by the case. I sell them by the truckload. I appreciate it, Frost. It means the world, brother. It really does. Thank you kindly. It's all crackly electric. You don't want electric running through your back, that's to be sure. Wet and cold. Yesterday was warm and sunny. Wait, did I miss something from Kova? Or is Bear just responding to an older message? You guys are chatting so fast. I do know I'm missing a few things, so I apologize for that. That's lovely. While the greetings go on, I'll run and follow you on YouTube before the reading starts. Wonderful. Thank you so much for that. I hope you'll enjoy. And if you ever have a request for stories, I take note of all the ones you guys request, and I try to do my best to put them out on regular intervals. Went to visit her boyfriend for the week and now came back to... Oh, here you go. Mateus and I are going through rough teenage years. Our 17-year-old went to visit her boyfriend for a week and came back tonight. He lives 4 hours away, so she's... Oh, I see what you're saying. My parents are saying I shouldn't go, but I won't listen. I need a scan, in my opinion. Well, you do want to take care of your back. You don't want to mess around with your back. You can ask Bear about messing around with your back. Your back is very important. Don't take risks with your back. All of the nerves in your body, they run through your back. You can destroy your entire nervous system by messing up your back. Is there something that Kopa is saying that I'm not seeing? Because those... Oh, okay. Oh, I'm not seeing the replies over here. That's interesting. I'm up in Darwin, wet season just rolled it. Okay, okay, okay. Alright, well, that's very interesting. Okay. Ambrose, hello, lurking on you. Hope you have a great stream. Well, thank you, Ambrose. I appreciate that. Thank you for dropping in. It was always lovely to see you. The lady will be reading tonight, not me. She'll be reading and singing for you all. I will be going off and doing other things. So upset tonight, and cause Matthew and I can't take that away, so it's so hard. We just hold her and love her up. That is rough. Going through the first things when you're in your teenage years. It's a hard thing to raise somebody through for sure. Yes, indeed. The lady will be blessing you all her voice. Having trained problem horses when I was younger, my back is now completely messed up. Better to get it checked if you can. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, take care of your back, take care of your teeth, take care of your neck. Those things are very, very important. Yeah, stretch. Make sure that you are exercising regularly. Make sure that you're just properly taking care of your back and your neck and your mouth. Because once those things are gone, you can never get them back. I know that quite well, Castle. I've had a bad back for some time, which is why I try to stay. Absolutely 100%. You have to make sure you have correct lifting techniques. Make sure that uh, you have to make sure that you're stretching properly, getting plenty of motion in. You don't think about how much you need to be moving until you're old and you realize all the ways you can't move anymore. Oh. Yeah, long distance relationships can be very difficult, actually. It is hard to care about somebody and not be able to be near them. It's very unnatural for human beings to do that. You have to realize that it's only really been for the last 40 years that people have been able to be thousands of miles away and we still be able to be in contact with them, but not be able to be in actual contact with them. And it wreaks havoc on the heart, really. Leaving hearts here as well to help the algorithm. Thank you very much. Uh, Basquilia. Who is Basquilia? Because your name is showing up as Basquilia. Who are you on a different portal? Because I assume you came in from another portal. Guys, so Ilse and I do our 5 a.m. stretches every morning combined with 40-minute hill runs. That's very good for you. Very good for you. As someone with back problems, yeah, don't play with the back. Yeah, you gotta make sure you take care of it. Gotta make sure you take care of it. So far avoided back surgeries, but used to get cortisone injections. Well, and what I've learned from people who get back surgery almost never helps. It's like knee surgery. Knee surgeries and hip surgeries and back surgeries, they rarely ever help. They're very temporary relief for a very long-term problem. And that's not to say that you shouldn't do it. Oh, Marianne. Okay, very good, very good, very good. I had presumed because there was 2 people who switched platform, so I just wanted to make sure. But Marianne, excellent. Rossio Marianne. Rossio Marianne. I'm terrified Oonagh will unleash her cat on her Vex. Oh, right. Got the bad knees as well, but I'm too young for the surgery. I messed up. I used to do a lot of fighting. I got it into. I was in fighting for a very long time. Most of it not very legitimate, and because of that, I messed up my knees really bad. I've got torn up meniscus in my right knee. And when I was very young, I think I was 25. I had a doctor tell me that I should trim the meniscus out because I'd torn up the meniscus, which is the pad between the bones in your knee. And I said, because I had a lot of knee pain, my knee would swell up. And he said, oh, you just go in and get it trimmed out. So I went in to see a specialist, an orthopedic surgeon. And Bear, thank you for the bits, brother. I appreciate you for that. Tips to the Tavern Keeper always appreciated. And when I went into the specialist said, "Okay, well, here are your options. We can go in and trim it out, and you'll lose about this much off of your meniscus on each side." And I was like, "All right, and what are the ramifications of that?" And he said, "Well, it'll shorten the lifespan of your knee to about 20 years." I said, "Well, what does that mean?" He says, "Well, by the time you're 50, you'll have to get a knee replacement because you won't have any padding left between your knees." I was like, "Okay, well, what happens if I just leave it how it is?" He's like, "Oh, well, you'll have knee pain and you'll get some swelling sometime." I was like, "And is it going to get worse?" He's like, "Oh, it might get a little bit worse." I was like, "Will I still have my knee when I'm 50? He's like, "Yeah, but you'll have knee pain." I'm like, "Oh, well, I can deal with knee pain." I'll, I'll take the knee pain. I'm fine with having a little bit of knee pain. I decided to get surgery because I hear too many unsuccessful cases. I suppose it depends on the individual. Yeah, you really got to just do what's best for you. But for me, I'm like, I'll just deal with the knee. Occasionally, my knee gets swollen. Occasionally, if I don't exercise enough, I'll have sore knees, and it's just not worth it to me to lose my knees. I'm a heavy man. I can't rely on something made by Toys R Us to keep me standing up. It's not going to happen. Yes, Matthew and I just want to take her pain away, but they had an amazing time together. Well, that's good. You got to just encourage her to look at the good and not the bad. It's hard to do, but you have to just encourage her to keep the good memories and not push them out. Bonnie says, "Clearly it's time to go for broke and just get rid of the whole leg and get a new one." Yeah, well, I know. Right, Pistol, peg leg. Peg legs are definitely in fashion. You can get myself one of those fancy Forrest Gump peg legs. Like Lieutenant Dan. I get myself a Lieutenant Dan spaceship leg. My husband served in the military for 8 years and has bad knees. Yeah, and like your knees, your back, your neck. You just need to take care of your body in general if you can. We can rebuild him. We have the technology, right? I've got a hot bottle of water on it now. I've been having to break off. Don't take too much ibuprofen because then the pain it won't help the pain at all, Erin. But hot and cold compress is going to be the way to go. Get a little bit of get it cold to reduce the swelling, then get the heat on there to increase blood flow so it can heal, and then just cycle through it like that. We do sing sea shanties, yes we do. Uh, all right, my love, are you ready? I could be here all night doing this. Blade Runners, yeah, exactly. Go full pirate, just saying, right. Alright, are you guys prepared? Are you guys ready for... Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. We do sing sea shanties, that's correct. That's right, Frost. We do love waffles around here. Rockhound, hello! It's good to see you. You have a great night as well. Thank you for dropping in to see us. Alright, friends, are we ready to have the actual captain of the ship come on over? I'm the surly, intimidating first mate. Yeah, I think we're going to, Erin. I think we're going to start maybe doing 1 or 2 movie nights a month. We'll have to see what happens, but we'll do 1 or 2 movie nights a month, I think. And do some more, like, fun, so the lady and I can show you guys some new stuff that you've never seen before, and just do fun things. You know, we can talk about the stories, because there's a lot of stuff I know you guys probably wouldn't watch on your own, that, Is it... That is Michael, right? Michael is Michael, right? I don't know. Because I feel like it's...
Michael the Horses or it's Michaela?
Yeah, well, no, it's Lacourse is the last name, so it's Michael, right? My brain is for some reason my brain wants to read. Okay, just making sure. Yes, all right. My brain wanted to read it as Michaela. I'm like, but that's not right. Why my brain doing that? Bosun Castle. All right, excellent. Switched over. My ears are ready, says Marianne. All right. Well, then let's get the lady over here to read to you all, and we will have her send you all into the beautiful world of Juliette Maurier. Glad I didn't give you my first name before then, hence why I go by Hooper. Yeah, I normally I'm pretty good with names, but I saw that if for some reason my brain wanted to pronounce it as Michaela. I don't know why. uh, I passed out after Hotel Transylvania, woke up to Master Skywalker. There are too many of them. I'd have noped back to sleep, but that was traumatizing to wake up to. Look, it happens. Occasionally, you wake up to Anakin Skywalker destroying the younglings. We've all been there. All right, let's bring the lovely lady of the tavern over to tell you all a story. Mihal, well, yes, that's true. Mihal would be Michael. You got a bunch of new folk in here you have to introduce yourself to. There she is.
Ma'am. Read my book.
It's right there. For those of you who are new, this is my
Hello, Erin.
better
Maddie.
1/10 by
Esther.
volume.
Yep. Hello, Frost.
This is the lady Oonagh. She is the
This is Mom.
she is
Yeah.
the fairy lady by whom all of the magic of the tavern flows forth from, and she will be
He's
reading.
most of the magic. I guess you could say I'm the vessel. I pour it out so you all can have some.
And she will be
Come in. Hello.
reading Juliette Marier's Child of the
Coda.
Prophecy.
Hello. Yes, reading Child of the Prophecy.
TikTok's trying to kick us
There.
off.
I know. TikTok's like, you've been on here enough. Oh yeah, we kind of stopped before we finished the chapter last time because it was really freaking long. Still have 14 pages to this chapter. Oh, yes I can. There we go. Is that better? Hello, Rocio. Oh, thank you. Still warm here, so I don't always like having my hair down because I'm just like, ugh, get it off. But I might got more. You know what? I need to just get it closer to me. That would probably help. I am significantly shorter, so.
Oh, that reminds me. Do I need to adjust the camera down?
I mean, it's okay. I'm gonna be tiny no matter what. You've been to Kairos twice? Now it's really loud? Okay, is that better? We're gonna find the sweet spot. Hello, Milu, and thank you for subscribing 12 months in a row. I can't believe it's been that long.
I know, it's crazy.
You know, like, it's crazy. Even Maddie, I was like, what? It's been like a year? That's nutty. I don't know where the time goes. Yeah, I enjoyed watching the movie with you guys. Both movies, actually. You feel old? Don't say that. You'll make me feel older, and then you'll make Bear feel even older. That's why he put Old King Bear in his name. Just gotta remind us. We cried together, I know. Coco, get you right in the feels. There was more than one movie. We did Coco, and then after we did Hotel Transylvania just on Gilded. Because there was nobody on Discord, so. Yeah, but we watched both of those. Hotel Transylvania is always a win for me. I think they did a really good job on staying consistent with the humor. Good night from Belgium. Well, welcome in, Sandra. Y'all are probably younglings. A lot of us are. I always like to say I'm no spring chicken, as my father likes to tell me. And it's been a while since he told me that. So definitely not a spring chicken. Yeah. You watched the Jays game? I don't watch any sports. I watched some sports with my ex-husband and then was completely turned off once again by the fact that there seems to be no loyalty whatsoever in the players. You know, like if I live in a state and I want to play sports, I want to play for my state, right? I don't want to move around. I want to play for my state. Younglings run from Anakin. No, it's sad. So sad. Oh, is it the World Series right now? You do have that choice sometimes, yeah. I just, you know, it's commercialized. It's not even about the game hardly anymore. It's all commercialized. I don't love it. And hello, Ashley Lynn. I didn't realize that chat was right here. It's been a while. Been a while. We've got Bears on TikTok and Call Me Pistol. Hello, and Mega Fluffy Bunny. I like it. I like it. Yeah, they usually don't get signed the team they want. I know, I get it. I get it. They're basically objects at that point, or tools, whatever you want to call them. Other people get to decide what they do, but he had me watching when LeBron was getting huge, right? He was playing for Ohio, and my ex-husband's from Ohio. And then he left after not winning the playoffs. So that was disappointing. It was very disappointing. I'm like, why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? You're torturing yourself and now you're torturing me. Let's not do this anymore. Yeah, I know. Yeah, now that we're on to sports. That's okay, Bethany. Yeah, a year and 5 months. That's crazy. Some of you guys have been here a long time. Love it. Sports ball, yeah. I mean, some sports are cool. I like martial arts. You know, I did that for a while when I was a youngin'. And it was enjoyable. And I like watching sparring or even just like the art forms. But, not sure what the sports rants are about. That I don't watch sports. So, you like hockey? I think a hockey game in person is entertaining. I'm not gonna watch it on television. It's like golf. Why do we watch golf on TV? I don't even think it's that interesting watching in person, but I don't know. That's just me. Woo, sports ball teams. All right. We are going to read 14 pages of this chapter, and then I'll probably die somewhere in the next chapter. So. The only sports team I like are the Broncos. Oh, because you were born in... See, that makes sense. That's fine. That's fine. I'm in California, so we call the 49ers whiner 49ers because they don't win a lot, you know? So, not really a whole lot to get excited about. I don't watch sports. I do love keeping fit. Yeah. That's what sports are for. It's for you enjoying doing it yourself. So. And thank you, Chantella, for the heart and for the 5 coffees. Or the pumpkin lattes. I will take any form of coffee if it's being offered. All of the coffee. You won your game? Good. Congratulations, Erin. Even though you didn't play it yourself. I always think it's funny when guys get all excited about their team like they're on the team and they did it. Like, you guys are hilarious. Just sitting here with my son in my arms. Aww. That's adorable. Moms do need their rest. Yeah, 5 coffees. I was actually given 6 pumpkin lattes on TikTok, and I love it. I'll take it. We're 70. All right, no more sports talk. All right, are we ready to begin reading? Yes. Yeah, now we're all gonna be like, I want coffee. I should probably eat something before I have more coffee. I am reading Daughter of the Forest. Let me grab the cover. I took it off while I'm reading it. Let's see if it can... Child of the Prophecy. They redid the covers of these, because these are from early 2000s. They redid the covers and they're very boring. Like, this artist did so much art for fantasy novels of that time, and they are fantastic. And then, I don't know why you would want to replace it with something just like... It's literally just like a flat shape. 2 colors. I'm like, Not even detailed or anything. Just like clip art. Sad. Sad. Bring back appreciating illustrators. I'm not being biased when I say that. Too late for coffee? Yeah. It's kind of too late for coffee, but I'll drink it anyway, because I don't want it to go to waste and I have some left. I missed the gong. Went back recently for a funeral. What gong? What's the gong? You did miss waffles, Jaeger. You missed all the waffles. Lo siento. 100% agree. Yes. Yes. I love a lot of the artwork from like old fantasy novels. A lot of really great artists. Now a lot of the fantasy novels, like, they have these abstract concepts, but they all kind of look the same. Right? To me, they all look the same. I can't differentiate authors and stories anymore because visually the covers is what would grab me. And now I'm like, oh yeah, this person wrote all of these books because they look like they belong in the same series. Too late for you, Esther? Yeah. No. You were playing Arc Raiders, okay. Oh, okay. So just shortening the name of the city. I understand. Oh no, poor Erin. She's dying over there. You just watched Echo die? Sad. Okay. Alright, we can continue. So, Fanya is on her way to her family in Seven Waters. She's never met them before. She is the daughter of Neve and Kieran, which we found out are actually half-niece and uncle, which was awkward. But nobody told them this, so they fell in love not knowing this important information. So, they were separated, and yeah, Milu, yeah. Definitely ew. But nobody said anything. Nobody said anything, so I can't really blame them. Not saying I love it, but it is what it is. Stuff like this happened, I guess. So, she and her father... Okay, cat. Can you not knock everything over on your way over here? Yes. Nope. Trying to drink the water? Stay over here. Yeah, it's very important information to share. So, but they didn't share it because Kieran is the son of the sorceress, Lady Oonagh, from the first book. And she's the one that turned the main character's brothers in the first book into swans. So she was trying to essentially have her child take over the family of Seven Waters and inherit all of Lord Column's things. So she was ousted, not defeated, but ousted. She had her son, and one of the older brothers raised Kieran in the Nemetons with the Druids in hopes that he would turn out to be a druid himself and not follow in the ways of his mother. They didn't want to mention the mother because they didn't want to kind of bring her back through words, if that makes sense. Like, they thought talking about her was inviting that evil back into their lives. So they're like, we'll just not talk about her and we'll put it all behind us. But then Ciaran and Neve met, and they were related and didn't know it. So there you go. Kitty, yeah. Boo and Milo will probably make appearances here and there. So now, this is Ciaran and Neve's daughter, is the main character of this book. And she has been learning sorcery from her father. And now, he's essentially being killed by his sorceress mother. And the Lady Oonagh is sending her granddaughter over to Seven Waters to get her revenge. And Fanya is basically having to listen to her because she doesn't want her dad to die. So she's on her way there, and she's traveling with a wandering tribe, and they're stopping at I guess it's a fair or festival of some kind where they sell the horses. So that's what they're doing right now. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, Boo's butt is the star of the show. He was trying to drink water from Castle's tankard. Okay. She just went to the show, or the fair rather. Derek took her over there, and now he's gonna go do what he's gotta do. Yes, the first book, The Lady Oonagh, is the sorceress. So she was the antagonist of the first book. So. I melted into the shadows under the big trees, wishing I had the power to command invisibility. For now I could stand here unobserved, brilliant-colored shawl or no, since all attention was on the Grand Master's cart. It was being opened and unpacked not 10 strides away from me, to much craning of necks and oohing and eyeing from the crowd assembled around it. The lanky assistant was doing most of the work and all the talking, while the master himself stood there in his tattered apology for a wizard's cloak, staring down his beak of a nose and doing his best to look haughty and mysterious. There was less magic in that lugubrious fellow, I thought, than I had in my smallest finger. You could see at first glance that he was a fake, and it was astonishing that folks seemed to be taken in by it. The assistant was a very busy man. Soon the area to each side of the cart was a gaudy array of banners and netting, with many little cages hung on poles, in each of which was a strange creature that might be obtained for a price, to amuse a sweetheart or to make a neighbor jealous. I edged a little closer, but it was hard to see without being seen. The cage nearest to me was a forlorn-looking bird, an owl sort of thing with ragged plumage. It edged from side to side on its perch, the movements jerky, the eyes round and wild. Below it some furry creature sat, with a clawed hand curled around the bars of its small prison, and its head leaning over as if feigning sleep. On the other side something was uttering shrill screeches, and folk were pointing with little exclamations. "Now, my fine ladies, my estimable lords, my fortunate young ones," the assistant was shouting, essential over the racket. "Come closer, come closer. The master will show you the amazing remedies we have for you this year. Some tried and true, some wondrous new discoveries, all astonishingly effective." He went on in this vein for some time. I glanced around. There was still no sign of Peg and Molly and the others. I moved closer. I could see the source of the noise now. A brightly colored bird tethered to a perch on the far side of the cart. Behind it were more caged creatures. Doves, finches, a pale furred hare, confined very close, so close it could not turn, let alone flex its strong legs and spring as was the way of its kind. There was a boy there, poking his finger in at it, and the creature had not even the room to flinch away. I looked into its eyes, blank, staring eyes where panic had overtaken reason. The bird screamed again, and it seemed to me it was crying out the rage and the fear of all of them, for being shut up and put on show and looked at, for being a thing of beauty shackled and gawked at and enjoyed. and then thrown away without further thought. The man was going on about a portion of strength. He pretended to drink a little. Oh, thank you. He pretended to drink a little, and then chose a big fellow from the crowd to come up and fight him. The result was inevitable. The two of them made a pretense of sparring, and then the master's assistant felled this much larger opponent with a careful tap to the jaw. The giant collapsed and the crowd gasped. After a short pause, during which a child was heard to say, "Is he dead, ma'am?" The fellow began to groan, and was hauled to his feet, rubbing his jaw and rolling his eyes. There was a babble of excitement, an eager jostle of buyers. I wondered how much they had paid the large man for his performance. "And now," said the henchman, apparently buoyed by his success, "the master himself will demonstrate the use of the new all-effective love philter. Great. Made with his very own hands. This potion of power will transform the most reluctant sweetheart into... Dear friends, you cannot imagine. It must speak for itself. Good folk, here is... the master." We were supposed to cheer, I think. I still could not see properly, but if I moved any closer I would be right in the crowd, and folk would look at me and press up against me and maybe talk to me, and my fingers clutched the amulet for reassurance. "Use the glamour, child," said my grandmother's voice, somewhere in my head. "Be what you like." I did it quickly, before I could change my mind. Peg and Molly weren't there. Derek was busy. Nobody would notice a thing. I chose the form I judged least likely to draw any attention. A much older version of myself. A woman of middle years in plain working clothes, shawled and scarved and straggle-haired. I could have been anyone. Indeed, there were many others just like me in the throng. Not a soul noticed as I moved quietly down to stand near the front, where I could see the man who called himself the master, scanning the crowd, while maintaining his pose of disdain. "The master's looking," said his assistant portentously. "Looking, searching for a fellow that's lonely, for some poor soul with no sweetheart. What about you, sir?" "He's taken," retorted a sharp female voice from the back of the crowd. Everyone laughed. "Ah," said the assistant as the master pointed a bony finger. "Here's a fellow. What is your name, sir?" The man was red with embarrassment, but grinning at the same time. "His name's Ross," offered a helpful friend, spluttering with laughter. "A few sheaves short of a full stack, but a fine man for all that." It sounded as though they'd made an early start on the ale. "You'd like a pretty sweetheart now, wouldn't you, Ross?" asked the assistant as he hauled his victim up on the cart, steps where all could view him. "Let's see if we can find one for you. Which of you ladies wants to test our new elixir now?" There was a shuffling of feet, and silence. Seemingly there were no takers. I was not surprised. The man they had chosen was skinny and none too clean-looking, and he had a bulbous nose with a drip on the end. "Come now," coached the henchman. "Who'll try it? There must be a lovely lady here who'd like a bit of fun. No? Then the master himself must beg." The black-cloaked man had already descended from the cart, and had begun to pace along the front where folks stood close-packed. I had been watching him, while others had their attention on the fellow who was doing the talking. The master had in his hand a fine gold chain with a small, shining object strung on it, and he was dangling it to and fro, to and fro. "There might be a little something in it, for the girl that's bold enough," hinted the assistant. The master paced back and forth. The little chain swung left and right, left and right. He halted. He paused. He stretched out a finger and pointed. "Ah," exclaimed the assistant, "we have a willing taker. Come up, my dear, come up and sip this exquisite potion, made from carefully selected herbs and berries and just a little," he made a circle with his thumb and first finger, "of the most secretly guarded of ingredients, just a tiny sip." The girl they had chosen was very young, certainly younger than myself, and poorly clad, with a gown much mended. For all that, there was a delicate bloom about her that might catch a man's fancy. Nobody raised an objection when the man led her forward. It seemed she was there alone. Nobody noticed the way she stared at the little gold chain swinging to and fro, as if that were all she could see. Nobody but me. I felt anger building in me. The master put the gold chain away in his pocket. The young girl stood there before him, her pure features blank of expression. On the other side, the man with the bulbous nose leered across at her, then rolled his eyes back to his friends in the crowd, who sniggered and poked each other in the ribs. The master bent over and whispered in the girl's ear. All that I heard was, "Drink this, my dear." But there had been more. I could guess what it was. She took the little cup in her hand and drank. There was a hush of expectation. For a moment, nothing happened. Then she turned, expressionless, and took a step over to the man, Ross. She twined her arms around his neck and pressed her body against his and planted a long kiss on his lips. The crowd cheered and applauded. I watched the way the man's hand groped at her skirts. The way his... That is stuck. Sorry. The way his tongue disgustingly went in her mouth. I waited for the master to click his fingers or wave his hands before the girl's eyes and undo what he had done. Instead, he watched the fellow lead the girl down the steps and away from the crowd. A rush of other men clustered around the cart, eager to buy. I was outraged. It was nothing but a sham, an old trick. Easy as long as you picked a susceptible subject. Simply done, simply undone. But this man had not undone it. He had let that girl go. With that fellow, and as I said, you are what you are. Sometimes you just have to act. The rainbow bird sat on its perch just by the master's shoulder, still shrieking abuse, as well it might do. I looked at it in the eye and spoke a word in my mind. The tether that held it broke apart. Nobody saw. The bird shrank and swelled and changed. For a moment in the commotion of jostling buyers, nobody noticed. Bright feathers became shining scales. Claws and beak disappeared. I used my imagination. The creature grew long and slender and sinuous. The serpent coiled around the perch, feeling the strength in its muscular neck, feeling the venom in its forked tongue, feeling the almost forgotten power of freedom. The child spoke up again. "What's that, ma'am?" The master froze in his place as a creeping, twining presence flowed across his shoulders and around his neck, above the tattered black cloak. "Ah," he managed, a mere thread of sound. His assistant backed away. The crowd retreated. Amongst them, the man Ross halted and stared back, still clutching the girl by one arm. I took a step forward, making sure the master could see me. "Undo it," I said very quietly. His eyes bulged at me. His face was purple. Maybe the coils were tight. I did not care. "Call that girl back here and undo what you did," I said again, softly so that only he and his assistant could hear me. "Do it now or you're dead. Don't think I care what happens to you." The master gasped again, rolling his eyes toward his assistant. The serpent shifted in its grip, and its tail slid off the perch to curl neatly around the master's arm. Now he was bearing its full weight. The small triangular head was poised just in front of his eyes. The assistant moved, called out, You there! Bring her back!" The crowd parted for the man and the girl. Terror held folk away from the cart. Fascination kept them close enough, for this fair's entertainment would be the stuff of fireside tales for many a long winter to come. The assistant grabbed the girl's other arm and wrenched her away from the leering Ross. He didn't have to pull very hard. Ross had blanched at the sight of the serpent's wicked little eyes. He faded back into the crowd. The girl was led up close. Her expression was quite blank. No roasted Skywalkers, Maddie. Her expression was quite blank. The terrifying creature might just as well have been a hedgehog or a sheep. "Undo it," I hissed. "Hurry up, or I'll make it bite." I was not at all sure if I could do this, but it sounded good. The master raised a shaking hand and clicked his fingers once before the girl's blank face. She blinked and rubbed her eyes. Then she saw the snake and screamed. "It's all right," I told her, under cover of the crowd's excited response. "Go home, go on. Find your family and go home." "Dad," she said in a panicky voice, as if remembering something. "Dad'll kill me." She looked around wildly, spotted someone away toward the horse lines, and was off on a run. Came a strangled sound. I had not forgotten the master, not entirely. And I must act fast and then disappear, for I caught a glimpse of Royson on the edge of the crowd, and knew the others must be there and would be searching for me. I looked at the serpent in its small, bright eye. I'd been quite pleased with this creation, but a serpent could not fly after all. I spoke the word and it changed. The master gave a yelp of pain as the rainbow bird clamped its claws momentarily on his shoulder, and then it spread its gaudy wings and rose somewhat unevenly into the air, circling the crowd with a scream of derision before it flew off eastward. Everyone was looking up, craning to see the phenomenon. I hadn't long, but I was good at this sort of thing. Cage doors sprang open. Latches fell apart. Bolts dropped from their fastenings. Not all could be safe. Some I had to change. The hare became a fine, healthy little pony, which I slapped on the rump and sent in the general direction of the horse lines. He'd do well enough. The clawed, furry creature transformed into a squirrel that streaked across the open ground and straight up into the oaks, where it proceeded to make itself quite a home. The finches, the doves, they would be all right. Perhaps they had not been captive long, for they flew off quickly to take their chances with the winter, and the trapper and the hawk. But there was one captive left. The little owl whose cage was open, whose path to freedom lay before it, stood quivering on its perch, lifting one foot and then the other, unable somehow to make that first move. And now folk were noticing, pointing, staring, and the master and his henchmen were advancing on me where I stood willing the creature to move its wings and fly. I fancied I heard Peg's voice somewhere beyond the oaks calling my name. "Fly, stupid," I told the bird. I could not transform this one. It was too fragile and too terrified to survive that. A quick decision was required. I turned to the master. "Give me this owl, or I'll tell all these people what a fraud you are. How all your remedies are fakes. I can do it." He looked down his nose at me. "You," he hissed. Quite enough for folk not to hear. "A farmer's wife? I don't think so. Now clear off, or I'll have you whipped for ruining my performance and stealing my animals. Go on, off with—" He stopped abruptly as I fixed my gaze on his neck and applied another little spell. You see," I said sweetly, "the serpent is just a fancy touch. I've no need of that, to kill you gradually from strangulation. Give me the bird." He gestured wildly with one hand and clutched his throat with the other. The assistant lifted down the small cage and its inhabitant, and I took it. "Good," I said calmly, and released the spell. The master staggered back, chalk-faced, as his assistant was besieged by gesticulating, confused spectators. Now that they were sure the serpent was gone, they had questions they wanted answered. The master was staring at me. "Who are you?" he breathed with real fear in his eyes. "I am a sorcerer's daughter, and more of a master than you will ever be, with your cheap tricks," I told him. "Don't try that again, fooling a little girl into behaving like some wanton for hire. Don't even think of it." I gestured toward my own neck, as if to warn him of the consequences. Then I caught sight of Molly, and beside her Royson, and I made myself vanish into the crowd, where I was just another farmer's wife out for a day of amusement. I retreated to a quiet corner behind an empty cart, and sat down on the grass. I spoke the words in silence, and was myself again, a little traveler girl, striped dress, blue-bordered kerchief, long red plait, limping foot. A girl wearing the most beautiful shawl at the cross, a shawl with a proud pattern of wonderful creatures of all kinds. A girl bearing a broken cage, with a crazy owl in it. Clearly that part would not do. I spoke to the creature very quietly. It seemed near stupefied with fear. Its only movement the strange mechanical lifting of its feet, left and right, left and right. Don't be scared, I told it, quite unsure of whether it could even hear me, let alone understand. You can go now. Fly away free. I reached very slowly into the cage, expecting at the least some serious damage to my fingers. The bird made no move but its mindless pacing. Perhaps it really was mad. Maybe it would be kinder to wring its neck. I could hear Peg's voice again over the noise of the crowd. Come on, I said. Give me a bit of help, can't you? I put my hand around the creature, pinning the wings so it could not hurt itself with flapping, and lifted it out carefully head first. I could feel the frantic drumming of its heart, and the fragility of its body, all little bones and feathers. I used both hands to hold the bird more or less, upright on the ground before me, facing the open. Trees, I said. Oaks. That's what those are. Fly. Use those wings. Off you go. I took my hands away. The bird stood there trembling. At least it had stopped its pacing. Go on, I said, giving it a tiniest little push away. It turned its head and looked at me. By all the powers, I whispered in exasperation. What am I supposed to do? I can't keep you. I've got to go. And besides, the bird stared at me with its big, round, mad eyes. Haven't I got enough to worry about? I asked it. Oh, come on then. The pathetic bundle of feathers could not sustain a transformation. That I knew from bitter experience. More than one rat or beetle had been sacrificed to grandmother's quest for perfection in the art. But a lesser change might be possible. And my gown had deep pockets, since a traveler girl might need to carry a needle and thread, or a handy knife, or a spare kerchief or two. I reached out and passed my hand over the creature's ragged form. There, I said, picking it up in my hand. Now it was around the size of a mouse. The claws like the little thorns of a wild rose, the eyes tiny, dark and solemn. It blinked at me. I hope you're not hungry, I said in an undertone. I hope you understand keep still and keep quiet. And I slipped the very small bird into my pocket and went out into the fair. She married Anakin, that's a roast on its own. Sad, Maddie. Look, he was a respectable man until he went cray-cray. It's not coffee. I have to drink my protein shake as well. I do have more coffee, but I'll wait until I eat. Vanya! Yelled Royson, before I had gone 5 paces across the grass. Where were you? Mom's going frantic. She said she couldn't find you anywhere. Where were you? Nowhere much, I said. She'd no need to worry. That's not what Derek said. I looked at her sharply. And just what did Derek say? I asked her, shocked out of my shyness. Royson grinned. Said given half a chance you'd find trouble. Nonsense, I told her. As you see, I'm fine. Where are we going now? To sell the baskets. Once they're all gone, we can go look around, see the sights. Not on our own, though. Mom won't allow that. She looked at me sideways, brows raised. Sorry, I conceded. I didn't know. Uh-huh, said Royson, sounding just like her brother. It was all the talk of the day. I sat watching as Peg and Molly and Royson and the other girls haggled over their wares and pocketed their profits, and the tale of what happened that morning grew ever more elaborate. We'd seen the Grand Master and his assistant pack up and leave the fair entirely, not without many delays, for there were customers dissatisfied and explanations required. Who is Penny? Oh, who is Peg? So, if you remember Derek, He has a sister, whose name is Royson. And then their mother's name is Peg. And it's that family along with several others. They're essentially they're gypsies. One of the gypsy, I believe it actually was, I think it's the leader of this whole band. He was Kiaran's companion when Sorsha died. They came to her funeral. And that's also Fat Janice's son or nephew. I think it was her son. She works in the house at Seven Waters. So they're kind of all connected. Yeah, but Maddie, that's what love is. Love sees past the mass homicide of Anakin's. He was just sad, Maddie. Gotta be careful. I'm gonna start sounding like all the book talk women. I mean, to be fair, these kids eat humans, so was it in poor taste? Yes. But if you saw your mother being tortured and then dying before your eyes, literally seconds after you got there to save her, wouldn't you go crazy, Maddie? Just a little bit. All right, continuing. Eventually, they made their escape, and this in itself was cause for surprised conjecture. For they'd been a fixture at the fair for many a season, Peg said. Folks swore by their remedies. As for herself, she'd never seen the need for any of those potions. What you couldn't do by yourself, you couldn't do. Folks should accept that, and stop trying to be what they weren't. The fellow brought the crowds. That was the only good to be said of him. She sat up close to the master's cart, and your sails would be steady enough. I kept well out of it. Wyson asked me what I'd seen, and I told her not much, because there'd been tall people standing in front of me. Just a lot of fuss and some birds flying off, that was all. But all morning folk were talking about it. They were saying the magic went wrong for some reason. A curse, maybe. The creatures had gone mad, and there was a snake near killed the fellow, and some large animal with claws like knives. Never seen anything like it, and there was some woman gave the master quite a tongue lashing. Wouldn't want to get on the wrong side of her. Fierce as a sorceress she was, for all she was some farmer's wife. And then, all of a sudden, no sign of her. But the fellow was scared, you could see it. Face the color of fresh cheese he had, and a red mark all around his neck. Look, Maddie, she was just very understanding. Padme was very understanding. She already loved the man, what can you do? She's like, well, this is what I chose. Alright. The basket sold out early, and Peg was very well pleased. She'd more back at the camp, she said, and other things as well. Kerchiefs and bits and pieces. We'd bring them up tomorrow. Our afternoon was free. But, Peg told us sternly, no nonsense. None of us was to go off alone, and we must be back before the sun touched the oaks. For it was a long walk to the camp, and she didn't want the children tired out. She and Molly would pack up, and enjoy a few tankards of cider and a chance to catch up with friends. Again, I seemed to have no choice. Royson had attached herself to me, and in the company of 2 other girls was leading me out into the press of bodies, eager for some fun. Sudden panic overtook me. There were so many people, so close, and they were all strangers. Horrible, leering men like that fellow Ross. Men reaching out hands to pinch and touch. Men saying things like, "How about it, sweetheart?" and then guffawing as if they'd made the wittiest joke. Women screaming abuse at unruly children. Stallholders advertising their wares in voices like braying horns. I could not excuse myself, for there was nowhere to go. I had not the power to work a spell of transportation. Father had refused to teach me that, saying I was not ready. I toyed with the idea of turning the lot of them into beetles or spiders. At least then the little creature in my pocket would be able to have its dinner. But I'd no quarrel with Royson or Peg or Molly, or with Derrig. No, I'd have to do something else. Use the glamour, Fanya. It had worked before, giving just enough confidence to get by for as long as I needed it, and nobody had noticed a thing. It would be quite safe. Adds in 5? Okay. I did it gradually, as we threaded away through the crowd. It was not so much of a change. The hair from tight-curled russet to smoother red gold like the fine clover honey. The eyes lighter, bluer, wider. The lashes long and dark. The brows delicately arched. The lips sweet and red. The figure not so very different, just a little curve here and a little curve there, and a change in the slope of the shoulders. Lastly, the feet. Straight, beautiful, perfect feet, and neat matching boots, feet for dancing. We got roasted nuts to eat from a dark-skinned fellow with a little brazier. They were paid for with a kiss. Not by me. Even the glamour was not enough to make me so bold so soon. It was Royson, pecked the man on one cheek and then the other, with a wicked little smile. Then there was cider, and that was free for all the folk who sold their wares at the fair. But we were lured by the sound of a whistle, and a bodhran and some experts on the spoons, and we were drawn into a great circling and weaving of folk that moved to the jigs and reels ringing out over the sword. The men were starting to return, their business done for the day, and Royson and the others had an eye out for certain lads they fancied. Nobody noticed that I was different. After all, had I not become a farmer's wife, or an old crone, or a water dragon? All I had done was improve upon myself as subtly as I could. As Father had told me, it is not yourself you change with the glamour. It is other folks' perception. So, that afternoon I did not adopt a disguise. I'd no wish to disappear and have Royson and the others looking for me. I simply wanted to be able to fit in, to join in, to be rid of the terror that came of being myself and always out of place. Besides, I told myself, it was good practice for Seven Waters. Royson had a sweetheart. He appeared on the edge of the crowd, and I saw him watching her, then making his way through to put his hands over her eyes from behind, laughing, and ask her to dance. He had a very determined jaw on him and strong shoulders. Not long after, a fellow asked me, and I said yes and managed a sort of smile my grandmother had taught me. It was a strange feeling to be graceful. The music seemed to carry me along, and I was floating from one partner to another and smiling without even trying. It was hot, and I took off my kerchief. The blue ribbon was lost and my hair came unplaited. I felt the long red gold flow over my shoulders, and the striped skirt whirling around me, and saw the silken fringe of my beautiful shawl glittering in the afternoon sun. I felt the drumming of the bodhran deep inside me, pushing me along. I sensed the eyes of folk on me, admiring, and I didn't mind a bit. I danced with a freckled lad from our own camp, the one with a pony named Silver, and he grinned a lot and said nothing at all. On the other side of the circle, Royson was still with the same young man. They had eyes for no one but each other. I danced with an older man, a farmer with a fine silver-buttoned coat and sharp eyes. He asked me my name, and I told him. He asked would he see me again tomorrow, and I said maybe. He held me closer than I liked, and I did some very fast thinking. The man went suddenly rather pale, and excused himself quickly. I hadn't done any real harm. He'd retch up the food he had in him and be better in the morning. The sun was near the tops of the great oaks, and clouds were gathering as Sorry. Hello, John. This is Oonagh. Castle is here nearby, but tonight is my evening. I stole it. What is Maddie being crazy? Is that what's going on? We're still talking about Star Wars. You guys are funny. Maddie, same. Same. Odd perspectives, unique outlooks. You're just trading out words that mean the same thing. With some encouragement from us, that's fair. Yeah, ads are running, so we're taking a wee break. Until the ads are done on Twitch. Because Twitch is rude. They don't let us turn them off. So, 'tis what it is. Yeah, take the Mickey out of him. He can take it. Oonagh just outed me. What else am I good for, Maddie? What else am I good for? Twitch is the rudest. But I have to appreciate that we have the platform so y'all can come and hang out with us. Can't complain too much. I don't know what's wrong with my mouth today. Just not used to talking this much. Having your kitty kill psychos on Kairos. Yeah, that's true. I guess I'm good for that. And it's fun, you know. And then everyone else in here that doesn't play Borderlands is confused. Way to go, Maddie. Have you had the chance to listen to the song? Yes, I did listen to it. It shouldn't be too difficult to recall the melody after I listen to it some more. And then if I have the lyrics, I should be able to do it. So give me a couple weeks to practice it a little to see how it goes. And then I can add it to the roster of songs for you to request. Also, you are an amazing friend first and foremost. Maddie, you are adorable and I love you and thank you for saying that. But yeah, I'm happy to add new songs. Definitely happy to add new songs. If I don't know them, I need a little time to get used to them. I've got all kinds of stuff stuck in my brain. Gotta switch them out, you know? Can only hold so much information. Like, I'll go forever without listening to some music, and it won't even cross my mind, but then if it comes up on a playlist, I'll be like, oh yeah, I know some of the lyrics to this song. It just comes out of nowhere. Well, thank you, Bear, for gifting Kova. Now you don't have to watch the ads. We're almost done. 15 seconds. Then we'll continue. It's warm in here. I'm kind of convinced I will always feel warm until I'm sitting in snow. Just always hot. All right, we can continue now. If I remember where I left off, you know? Oh yes, she was dancing. The sun was near the tops of the great oaks, and clouds were gathering. I was not ready to go. Here I was the center of something. I was myself and not myself, both at once. It was around me that it all moved, the men with their hungry eyes, the lilt and throb of the music, the bright flare and flash of scarf and shawl and flying hair, a circle of movement and laughter and light. A tall fellow was asking me to dance, urged on by his friends. In the distance I could see Royson bidding her young man farewell, and beyond them on the far side of the circle was Derek, standing very still, watching me. His expression was not angry, not exactly. It went beyond that. It was the look of a man whose worst fears had been realized before his eyes. He gave a jerk of his head as if to say, "Come on, time to go." Then he moved away and was lost in the crowd. He wasn't even going to wait for me. "Excuse me," I whispered to my would-be partner, and I slipped away as quietly as I could, shedding the glamour as I went, nipping over to the place where Derek had left me before, close by the great oaks. Oh no, it froze on you? It's just Twitch's way of showing its appreciation, right? It's cold and wet and gets to your bones. I'm with snow how Anakin is with sand. Oh my gosh. Surrounded by it, is that what you mean? Alright. Aphie was standing under the trees in the shade. Derek was by her, grim-faced and silent. He linked his hands to give me a lift up onto the pony's back, and vaulted up behind me. And we were off at a very quick pace indeed. He didn't say anything at all, until we were well on the way, passing the little curras down up by the little inlet, with the clouds growing dark in the sky above us. There was nobody else in sight. "Can't take my eye off you for a moment, can I?" he remarked. "I don't know what you're talking about. I thought you promised to stay out of trouble. Now look at you." "What do you mean, look at me?" I snapped, hating it that he was cross with me. "I went to the fair, I sold baskets, I went dancing with your sister, and now I'm going home, just like everyone else. Isn't that what you want?" There was a silence. "Well, isn't it?" Even to me, my voice sounded shrill. It was making me quite uncomfortable. "What I want doesn't seem to come into it," said Derek quietly. "That's nonsense," I retorted, not understanding what he meant. We rode on in silence as drops of rain began to fall. Aphie twitched her ears. "Of course, it's good to get out among folk and enjoy yourself," he said eventually. "There's nothing wrong with dancing, but not like that." "Not like what?" "Not making an exhibition of yourself. Doing it for the attention. Making the fellows look at you as if they want a bit more than just a dance. Doing whatever it is you do." I bit my lip and said nothing. "Vanya, I didn't cause any trouble," I said with what dignity I could summon, wondering why it was that he had the ability to upset me so much. "All I did was enjoy myself. And besides, it's none of your business." There was another awkward silence, punctuated by the sound of approaching hoofbeats. The freckled youth on his gray pony rode up behind us and came alongside, grinning at me. "Want company?" he asked. Then he glanced at Derek. I saw his expression change, and then he touched his heels to the pony's flanks and was off ahead at a sharp canter. "Anyway," said Derek as we turned to the right and away from the inlet. "What about before that? I heard a story about a wizard, and escaping animals in a near riot, and birds turning into snakes." "I heard that too." "So?" "So what?" "Come on, Fanya," he said, exasperated, and he drew Aphie to a halt. "Don't tell me it was nothing to do with you. Someone said a man was half strangled. Now tell me the truth." I said nothing. I didn't have to. For at that moment a small, bedraggled form put its head out of my pocket, perhaps thinking the jostling and jolting was over at last. The tiny bird hopped out and settled on the back of Aphie's neck, reaching its beak down in vain an attempt to preen its tattered plumage. Aphie stood steady as ever, a jewel among ponies. "What in the name of Brigid is that?" I cleared my throat. "I think it's some kind of owl. It wouldn't fly away and I couldn't hardly leave it. I had to make it smaller so people wouldn't notice." "I see." "The man was a fake, Derek. He tried to make a girl do something horrible by trickery. His potions are worthless. He cared nothing for these animals. They were cruelly caged, and would you have me stand by and not act when I can?" Derek sighed. I don't know anymore." Without any visible sign from her rider, Aphie began to walk again, and the tiny owl wobbled a little. I put my hand down to steady it. Grasshoppers, I thought vaguely, worms, small beetles. We were nearly back at the camp before he spoke again. "What you need is a constant guard night and day. I don't know what your father was thinking of, sending you away on your own. It was like giving an infant a lighted torch and telling it to go out and play. You're not only a danger to yourself, you're a danger to everyone else as well. And the worst of it is, you don't even know it. What would you know? I muttered, thinking how happy I had been when we passed this spot in the morning, and how miserable I was now. He had taken all the joy out of the day. I do know, Fanya, he said quietly. I know you better than anyone. I wish you would listen to me. What you do it's not right. You're blighting your own future. It's not the right way for you. I wish you would heed me. Part of me longed to tell him I was sorry. Sorry our day was spoiled. Sorry we had quarreled. So sorry that next summer he would go back to Kerry and I would not be there. But I could not say those things. I could not afford to listen to him, lest I lost the courage to go on, to do what grandmother had said I must do. My father's life depended on it, and Derek had wounded me deeply, for his good opinion was everything to me. Words tumbled out of me before I could stop them. Hateful, hateful words. You don't know. How could you? How could you understand what I have to do and why? It's like some stray dog trying to interpret the movements of the stars. Impossible and ridiculous. I wish you would leave me alone. I can't listen to you, and I can't be your friend, not anymore. I don't need you, Derek. Not now and not ever. Once it was said, it could not be taken back. We finished the journey in stony silence. He dismounted without a word and helped me down politely, and I took the very small owl in my hand and slipped it back in my pocket. I looked at him, and he looked at me. Then he took Aphie's bridle and led her away, and I was alone. And now we are at chapter 4 on page 109. Okay. Let's see how long this next one is. Good Lord. Okay. That is a lot. That's 40 pages. Castle's making me some food because he is the best husbando ever. Oh, this is protein shake. I usually make them, but these were on sale and they were strawberry flavored, so I thought I would try the gross ones. Yeah, it's a lot. My throat will die. Should we do songs in the middle? Should I try to rasp them out at the end? You want to give everyone a hug today? It was so warm. Goodness. Not strangers, though. Just giving out hugs to everybody. I mean, they might. It just kind of depends. You know, like I said, I'm not used to talking this much, so my throat just gets worn out. Like, it's Castle's job to do all the talking, so he lasts much longer than I do. I guess I could try to get to page 124. But even that's a lot. But we can try. Alright. Wait till the microwave is done. Did that happen, Maddie? Oh, I mean, that's a compliment, Maddie. Was she not cute enough to give your number out? Are you still dealing with some trauma? Creeped you out? Yeah, I don't even know. I don't know. I'm drinking some. I'm drinking some of this at least. Got some vitamins in there. She was cute, but you were creeped out. Okay. Weird chicks can be fun, or they can be a lifelong trauma. You never know. If your life even lasts that long after you date them, you know? Weird chicks need love too. Truth. Hello, HD Heaven. Welcome in.
That's Heather.
Oh, Heather?
Yeah.
Hello, Heather. Welcome in. I've had weird girls before, nearly died. Yes, you never know. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. It's like gambling. You find a weird girl and you don't know how it's gonna go. I'm a weird girl. Or I'm a weird woman. I can't really be considered a girl anymore. Okay. You good, baby?
Yeah. Well,
Alright. Weird chicks are literally the only option. I see.
don't let anybody lie to you. All women are weird.
I think everybody's weird. They just have, like, their version of weird, you know? I need emotionally stable. Weird is fine, but emotionally stable is needed too. I mean, it's kind of hard to find women that are emotionally stable. It's kind of in women's nature to be emotional. I'm the weird one in that sense, because I've been told I'm more like a guy because I'm not emotional. But that has its own problems. I was accused of being like a robot and speaking in a monotone way. I had to learn to modulate my voice more. So, and to not have resting bitch face all the time. That took a while. So I've been told I sound gay. Weird or weird. Right, yes. Sure, I can be that one too. Yes, good to see you, Heather. Welcome in. We are in the middle of reading Child of the Prophecy. And my voice is dying already because I don't use it all that much. I just talk to Castle and my son, kind of it. All the other people I talk to, it's just intermittent. I'd be scared to find someone that, well, rude bear. I am emotionally stable. Aren't I emotionally stable?
Yeah.
Yeah. Am I frightening?
Now, you're intellectually unstable, but
What? What's that mean?
you're like a diabolical villain.
Yeah. Not a villain, just like mischievous, you know?
No, like Megamind.
Like like Megamind. I know I have a big forehead, but you don't have to be that rude. The older I get, the more I realize no one has a clue and we're all just winging it. It's fair. Well, I mean, it happens, Maddie. We used to call those guys Metro out here in LA. Though they also tended to have like a heightened sense of fashion as well to be considered Metro. I don't know that I agree with that, Bethany. It's not that we are allowed to show and process our emotions, it's that we have the capacity to feel them. It's kind of in men's nature to shut that off because they're constantly in the mode of having to survive and provide. Just in a animalistic sense, like that's how nature works. You know, obviously we have intellect and not everybody's the same, but in general, men are not typically emotional by design. through nature. Thank you. You're the best.
You're welcome.
I'm definitely not Metro then. Killing me. Oh, it's hot. Castle's been taking his brave pills. You know, we're like this all the time. I don't mind. I don't mind. I'm too emotional to be a man. Things are different now. Things are different now. We had a generation of, you know, telling men that they needed to be more emotional, and so we've raised a couple generations, maybe a few now, of boys to be more emotional.
Yeah, I was going to say, 2 generations ago, men were basically told that they're not allowed to feel anything growing up in the, the 40s and the 50s.
Mm-hmm.
And now we've gone in the complete opposite direction where everybody feels everything all the time and it's just not productive in any way.
It's exhausting.
Yeah, because because feelings are not true. As much as we want to believe that feelings are true, they're not true. Feelings are the animal instinct of what we feel. Like, obviously we feel it, but what you feel isn't true. Like, I can feel fear of the dog. That doesn't mean there's anything in the dog to be afraid of. The fear is real, but I am afraid of nothing. So acting purely on feeling is not healthy or productive, because if you are afraid of nothing, then you are afraid to do anything because of nothing. And that means that it's a completely unproductive feeling. And we have this environment now where all feelings are to be acknowledged and accepted, but that's not the way that human beings thrive. We thrive because we have the ability to overcome our emotions. We're not like wild cats where if our tail gets touched, we take off running. We have the ability to process that fear through our intellect and then be able to do something more productive with it.
This is not emotional intelligence. What's not, bears?